When the EU servers abandon your dream of MFing, what do? When you don't want to trade for 4 hours and play for only 2, who do you call? Ghostbusters! No, that's not it. It's Sanctum. It's Sanctum. You called Divinia. Hello there, Bing Chillers. I'm Molly, and today I'm quickly gonna talk about Sanctum running and how it works wonderfully even on a budget. Let's set the premise. We're not gonna spend more than 10 divines for any prep or character needed to do this. We are gonna bulk buy our content at market price. Finally, we're gonna Bing chill and make anywhere between 4 to 10 divs an hour on a budget. Before we start, real quick, let's cover the basics. This is Diviana. She can be found in Acton Town and she will provide a low eye level free Sanctum for the first time you talk to her. By clicking this option on her chat window, you can go to Forbidden Sanctum entry point. This is where you put your Forbidden Tome to set up the run, and this is your relic inventory where you put the relics that is gonna apply to your run, which gets locked in on the tome when you start the run. Now, with that out of the way, let's start with character selection for Sanctum running. Almost all the builds are able to do Sanctums, however, for your both enjoyment's sake and making them chill to do, I would highly recommend swapping or rerolling into a Sanctum runner. My top recommendations would be, in no particular order, Shockwave Totems, which is what I did, Hex Blast Mines, Stormbrand, or Summon Raging Spirits. Any of the listed builds under 10 divines will shred eye level 83 Sanctums, no problem. I did my Shockwave Totems for 8 divines to start out with, and it was more than enough to cozy its way through eye level 83 Sanctums. The reason these builds are considered great for Sanctum running are because they are automatic targeting or duration skills with off-screen capabilities. If you're gonna go with another archetype, I would recommend picking one that has the aforementioned skill mechanics built in them. Even if you don't have 10 divines at the moment, you can start farming low eye level ones. With one of the builds we listed with just a tablet and basic gear, and build your way up to eye level 83 ones. It won't take more than a couple of hours to get there. Just as a heads up, whichever one you pick, to avoid getting one-shot, I would recommend having over 3k effective HP pool. Or of course, you might be a Giga Chat with loved ones saying they're proud of you and respect you every day. If so, you can just incorporate the just don't get hit strategy. Although, discretion is advised. After we are done with our character selection, let's move on to the relics and how they impact your run. If it's your first time running Sanctums, or you feel like you're getting hit way too often, I would suggest buying and using a combination of these mods on relics. Once you're used to the mechanics and your character is strong enough that the guards die almost instantly, I would suggest swapping to additional room reveal relics. And if you like Sanctum so far and want to optimize your runs further, go for 2 additional room reveal relics. They are a bit pricey but easily resellable so you can back out anytime you want. Now, let's get into actual Sanctum mechanics which will impact your runs greatly. First topics to focus on are Aurus Coins, Divinia's Shop, and what to prioritize on the first 2 floors. Aurus Coins drop from all the guards, chests, and bosses, and they're gonna impact your runs greatly when you're first starting out. They are only usable in the current Sanctum run you're in, so no need to save them up in the last floors. These coins are also impactful for the shop we get from Divinia, which will provide us with many boons that makes our runs easier and also more rewarding. When you encounter Divinia's shop, it is imperative that you resist the urge to buy the bathwater of an e-girl, just because she said hello to you. But instead, prioritize paying the bills and buying boons like these first. And if by mistake you bought the $50 bathwater, no worries. Everywhere in the world there are simp bros who will falsely testify for you against the judge on why your alimony payment this month is missing a bit. Moving on the first 2 floors prioritize 3 things. 1. Avoid afflictions as much as possible. 2. Gather a bunch of Aurus coins to spend on the shops. And 3. Acquire as many boons as possible through benevolent shrines or Pride Month shrines. Up to you. Next up, I want to talk about what to prioritize in the last 2 floors. Starting from 3rd floor, valuable rewards are way more common and previously unavailable rewards are also become a possibility. Thus, after each room completion, always recheck Sanctum map for the following reward types in terms of priority. Divine Orbs, Sextants, Exalted and Almond Orbs, Gem Cutters, Chaos, Fusings, and all the other small stuff. If you don't see the first 3 rewards from the list on your current tile options, go for the Accursed Pack nodes. Now I know, the downsides seem pretty big, but after you get used to running Sanctums with a few bad mods here and there, you will start looking at them as opportunities and not downsides. Especially sacrifice 50% of max resolve is an option I would recommend. There are many strong major boons, but most importantly, there is a 1 in 15 chance of you getting the All-Seeing Eye boon, which can turn an average earning run to a high roller one. While prioritizing the rewards on the last two floors, sometimes there will be situations where you might meet one of these mods on a reward tile. Unless you are experienced with Sanctums enough to know how to play under these mods, I would highly recommend skipping them. Yeah, I know, as soon as you saw the Divine Reward, you already gave up on thinking and just went with it, which is fine. We all know why we play PoE, for that swing sound that gets us hard at night, which even the most advanced robot dolls or Wednesday memes fail to do so.
Who's that Pokemon?
It is Wednesday, my dude.
And last but not least, some people might suggest that you should learn the room types and make your choices for the easier rooms. I completely disagree with this. Unless you are doing a challenge run with one of these, you can just ignore the room types and just make your decisions purely based on rewards and afflictions instead, which will be far more efficient in normal Sanctum running for profit per hour. Alrighty then. With the basic mechanics covered and the general tips given out, let's talk about the profit you can expect. With no additional room reveal relics, with a 10 divine character, my average runtime was around 17 to 20 minutes, with an average profit per run 1.5 divines. The second setup I did was with full 2 additional room reveal relics, which didn't affect my average runtime by the way. However, my average profit per run rose to 2.5 divines, which with low investment we are somewhere around 4 to 6 divines an hour, and with higher investment relics we are around 6 to 7.5 divines an hour. These numbers may look underwhelming for some of you, but I want to mention a couple of important things to consider while looking at these results. First upside, I only traded 10 minutes per 5-hour play session, which mainly contained buying 16 Forbidden Tomes in bulk which took 1 to 2 minutes, converting the Sextons, Chaos, Gamcutters, Fusings and other small currencies to Divines which took another 6 to 8 minutes. The second upside, which usually gets pushed aside, the runs were pretty big chill. No go attitude necessary, so just like me, you can rewatch The Office for the 5th time this year on the side. And the third one I wanna mention, I didn't need to invest in more than 5 hours a session, and I was still able to afford my mage blood in 5 days of farming with budget character. So if you don't have too much time to put in the game, it could be a very easy way to acquire the currency or items you want. And lastly, I'ma be real with you guys. EU servers did not let me do maps or MF at evening time, so the sweet whispers of Divinia luring me to her pyramid scheme with a 12-step program to richness kinda caught me off guard. If you take an objective look at the Sanctums, yeah, they're profitable, and yeah, they're very chill. But oh my god, they got boring real quick. I really wanted to go back to mapping and join the fun on big loot explosions and swing sounds, but unfortunately, the effects of the swing sounds on male performance do not apply to the nighttime EU servers, and they still lag you out and crash all the time. Before we reach the end of the video, I wanna apologize for not being able to stream for the past 2 weeks. On league start, my computer partially bricked after a sudden power cut, and it recently returned from the technical service, and hopefully everything is gonna be back to normal. Well, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you don't hear from me for the next couple of days, that's because I will be moving to Texas so I can map once again. See you guys on the next one. Or if you wanna catch me live, I will be streaming on twitch.tv/HDMolly starting Monday. You are welcome to join and being chill with us. Take care and have a great Wednesday, my dudes.